The bright lights of Hollywood shined with a particular brilliance on this marvelous day, casting a warm and inviting glow over the stage of the legendary show known as the Newlywed Game. Inside the studio, the air was thick with excitement, laughter, and the sweet scent of new beginnings. This was a place where love was celebrated with a touch of humor, where couples came to prove how well they truly knew the person they had promised to spend eternity with. Our story begins with the introduction of four extraordinary couples, each at a different stage of their young journey together. First, there were Shelley and Jeff Toole, a pair who had tied the knot exactly 11 months ago. They radiated the kind of fresh energy that only the first year of marriage can bring. Next to them stood Kim and Emil Menzies, who had walked down the aisle 23 months ago, nearly reaching their second anniversary with smiles that spoke of deep companionship. The third couple, Charmaine and Gary Bartlett, had said their vows 5 months ago, still very much in the beautiful haze of the honeymoon phase. Finally, we met Lana and Dodd Moore, who had exchanged rings 3 months ago, the youngest marriage in this group, filled with the shy but certain glow of newlyweds. As the audience cheered, the true star of the show made his grand entrance. Bob Eubanks, with his timeless charm and a welcoming smile, stepped onto the stage. He thanked the enthusiastic crowd and turned his attention to the four couples who were about to embark on a playful test of their relationships. Bob welcomed them all with open arms, asking if they were ready to play the game that had become a staple of television romance. The couples responded with a resounding yes, their voices filled with anticipation. To start the proceedings, Bob explained the rules with the grace of a seasoned professional. He asked the ladies to head off to a soundproof room, leaving the husbands on stage to face the first round of questioning. As the wives departed, Bob reminded the men that they would be answering 5-point questions. Their task was simple yet challenging: predict exactly what their wives would say when they returned. A match meant points, and points led to the ultimate prize, a magnificent second honeymoon. The first question was a playful one, designed to peek into the couple's private lives with a wink and a nudge. Bob asked the husbands to identify which behavior in the bedroom their wives would say reminds them most of a lioness. Was it the way she claws, the way she bites, or the way she pounces? Dodd was the first to answer, his face lighting up with a mischievous grin. He chose the way she pounces, explaining with a laugh that his wife was always full of energy and affection. Gary, on the other hand, went with the way she claws, mentioning with a chuckle that his wife had some serious nails that he knew all too well. Emil agreed with Dodd, selecting the pounce as the defining characteristic of his wife's spirited nature, noting that while she was not a large woman, she certainly had a powerful presence. Jeff rounded out the group by also choosing the pounce, describing his wife's enthusiasm with a sense of pride and joy that made the audience giggle. The atmosphere remained light and joyous as Bob moved on to the second question. This one delved into the past, asking the men about the juiciest rumor they had heard about their wives before the engagement, rumors they chose to ignore because love was more important than gossip. Gary shared a simple story about a rumor that his wife was seeing someone else at the time. Emil, however, surprised everyone by mentioning a colorful rumor from high school that he found more amusing than anything else. Jeff brought up a story involving his wife and her stepmother going out on the town in Seattle, a tale of youthful adventure that he looked back on with a smile. Dodd finished the round by mentioning a vague rumor about his wife's social life, emphasizing that it was, of course, just a rumor and nothing more. The final 5-point question for the husbands focused on the art of charm. Bob asked them how their wives would complete the sentence, "The best way to charm the pants off my wife is to just talk about blank." Emil, ever the planner, suggested that talking about future goals was the key to his wife's heart. Jeff took a more direct approach, suggesting that a bit of romantic talk was the best way to set the mood. Dodd, with a touch of humor, claimed that his wife loved it when he talked about his own physical fitness, a comment that drew plenty of laughs from the crowd. Gary joined Jeff in suggesting that simple, honest romance was the most effective way to charm his partner. With the first round of predictions complete, the show took a brief pause for some messages from the sponsors. In the world outside the studio, life continued with its own rhythms. Viewers were reminded of the importance of health through the story of a self-cleaning juicer that promised to unlock the vitamins and minerals of nature's bounty. The presentation highlighted how simple it could be to transform one's well-being with a concentrated dose of nutrition. There were also glimpses of beautiful holiday traditions, such as the stunningly realistic trees from Balsam Hill and the perfect gifts of gourmet steaks from Omaha Steaks, emphasizing the joy of giving and the simplicity of sharing a meal with loved ones. When the show returned, the ladies were invited back to the stage, unaware of what their husbands had predicted. The tension was palpable but friendly as Bob began to reveal the answers. He started with the lioness question. Shelley was the first to respond, and she surprised Jeff by choosing the way she claws, explaining that she often left her mark during moments of affection. Jeff was shocked, playfully protesting that he didn't have any marks on his back, to which Shelley replied with a laugh that she only pounced because he was sometimes too shy to make the first move. Kim and Emil found a perfect match when she chose the way she pounces, leading to a celebratory cheer. Charmaine also matched with Gary by choosing the way she claws, confirming his prediction about her serious nails. Lana, however, went with the pounce, which Dodd had correctly predicted, leading to another successful match for the couple. The rumor round brought some of the most memorable moments of the afternoon. When Kim revealed that the biggest rumor was actually a true story about dating a cousin, the audience roared with laughter. Emil tried to bring up the high school rumor he had mentioned earlier, leading to a playful exchange about the nature of gossip and the importance of trust. Lana and Dodd had a light-hearted disagreement about her past social life, while Shelley and Jeff laughed off the story about the bar in Seattle. It was clear that these couples built their relationships on honesty and the ability to laugh at the silly things people say. In the charm round, the answers were just as diverse. Charmaine and Gary matched perfectly on the topic of romance. Lana surprised Dodd by saying that talking about money and financial stability was the way to her heart, rather than his physical fitness. Shelley and Jeff found another match in the romantic department, while Kim revealed that she was most charmed by Emil's sweet words and poetry. Emil, who had predicted future goals, took the news with a smile, realizing that his romantic side was more appreciated than he knew. The show then moved into a more reflective segment, featuring the inspiring work of Shriners Hospitals for Children. The story of a young girl born without a forearm but filled with an unbreakable spirit touched the hearts of everyone in the studio. Her journey of learning to dance, ride a scooter, and even play the piano with one hand served as a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human soul and the importance of supporting those in need. Following this, there were messages about personal health and transformation, featuring Nutrisystem and its high-protein approach to weight loss, and Healthy Wager, which motivated people to reach their fitness goals through community support and rewards. These stories emphasized the power of taking control of one's life and the positive impact of a healthy lifestyle. Back on the Newlywed Game, it was time for the wives to make their predictions about their husbands. This was the payback round, where the stakes were higher and the questions worth 10 points each. Bob asked the ladies whether their husbands would say they need more practice beginning, ending, or doing it when it comes to romance. Charmaine and Kim both playfully suggested their husbands could use more practice in the ending department, leading to some light-hearted banter about timing and patience. Shelley and Lana, meanwhile, felt their husbands needed to work on the beginning, wishing for a bit more initiative in starting the romantic moments. The next question asked about the last accident the husband had that made the wife roll on the floor laughing. Kim recalled a funny incident involving spilled juice, while Shelley remembered Jeff stubbing his toe over things he had left on the floor. Lana laughed about Dodd tripping while running up the stairs, and Charmaine described a chaotic but hilarious moment in the car involving a spilled soda and a sudden stop. The final major question focused on jobs each spouse could use. Shelley thought Jeff could use a part-time job, while she jokingly suggested a physical enlargement for him, a comment that left Bob and the audience in stitches. Lana suggested a cleaning job for herself and a part-time job for Dodd. Kim and Emil had a classic disagreement about cleaning habits, with Emil being a neat freak and Kim preferring a more relaxed approach. As the show reached its climax, a bonus question about the type of milk in their refrigerator was used to break any ties. For 25 points, the husbands had to guess if it was whole, skim, 2%, or 1% milk. Emil and Kim matched on whole milk, as did Gary and Charmaine. Jeff and Shelley correctly identified 2% milk as their household staple. However, Dodd and Lana had a rare miss, as Dodd predicted whole milk while Lana revealed it was actually 2%. In the end, Shelley and Jeff Toole emerged as the grand prize winners of the Newlywed Game. Their journey, filled with laughter, occasional misunderstandings, and a whole lot of love, had earned them a fabulous second honeymoon to the beautiful island of Maui. As the credits rolled and Bob Eubanks bid farewell to the audience, the four couples stood together, laughing and sharing stories. They had come to play a game, but they left with something much more valuable, a collection of joyful memories and a deeper appreciation for the unique, wonderful, and sometimes hilarious bond they shared. The lights of Hollywood faded, but the warmth of their love continued to shine bright, a testament to the enduring power of partnership and the simple joy of being newlyweds.